Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. My name is Esther, for those of you that don't know, and a brief summary of where I've been in the past 6 to 8 months. So I've graduated from Cardiff University, got my law and criminology degree. I've started my Bar Vocational studies at City University. I was doing it as a master's and then I dropped it, so I'm only doing the bar at the moment. And this video is essentially a video of my personal experiences studying the bar course, as I'm halfway through. And if you can see slightly here, this is literally my exam timetable, and I've had to color coordinate everything because it's a busy schedule. Anyways, so I hope you enjoy this video. Please do leave a like, comment and subscribe if you want to see me on this journey to become a barrister or whatever God has in store for me. And yeah, let's just get straight into it. So the reason I chose to study at City University was, one, their class teaching sizes are quite small, so it's 6 to 12 students per class. And I thought that this would be ideal for me because I learn better in smaller environments where you're more comfortable, you know your classmates better, and there's just more room to speak with your tutor on a more comfortable basis and not have to be scared of anyone's opinions, the class being too big, not having enough attention. What I will say about City as well is that it's quite central in London. Not central like Piccadilly Circus and Soho, but there are great train links or tube links, whatever you want to call it, into the university. And that is definitely something you want to consider when you're thinking about whether you're going to be walking to university, how you're traveling in, whether you're taking the train in, you're walking, all of that stuff. Another thing that you should definitely look at when you're choosing your providers is the pass rate. Now, there's a whole load of different sources that you can check, and I'll link the ones that I personally checked down below because it's essential that you do your research. Universities can say that, you know, they're great and amazing, but statistics do not lie. So always check it. And with City, it is flexible, so you can do the course part-time, full-time, I'm pretty sure that's it. You can't necessarily split the course up like you can in other universities, so keep that in mind and do your research on that as well. This video is only like some guidance for you and to help you narrow down your research. Please do not take this as the be-all or end-all. This is just my personal experience and the advice and the wisdom that I've been given by others that have passed the course, that are on the course, or that are teachers. I'm personally doing the course full-time because essentially I have nothing else to do with my life, and I just think doing it full-time will help me actually concentrate. However, there are still a lot of people that do this course part-time. Some people in my class have had previous careers, very intelligent. Some people are working part-time, whether that's with the government, the civil service, or just in retail. Some people do this course part-time because another thing that you do have to consider is the cost of the bar course. It is from 14 to 17 to 18k depending on where you go. So at City, I believe the course was around 17 to 18k, and this payment or this tuition fee is split into two. So you can pay it in full in September, or you can pay it in two parts, one in September and one in January. And the way a lot of some people kind of navigate the hefty bill of the bar course is either getting a scholarship by the Inns of Court, a scholarship by the university. Now, for example, ULaw, University of Law, have advocacy scholarships that they give out. I actually received an advocacy scholarship, but I didn't end up going to University of Law, evidently. So have a look at different universities and see whether they have any bursaries or scholarships open. And a lot of the times there are competitions for these things. So make sure you do sign up, especially if you don't want to think about the financial burden halfway through the course, such as not being able to pay it because you don't have enough funds. Always do your research and see the available funding options that you have. The way other people fund it is through part-time jobs, as I mentioned before, and doing the course part-time, although some people do the course full-time and have a part-time job, and I have no idea how they do it, but you know what, applauding for you. And some people also just save up for a couple of years from their savings or however else they would get their funding. So those are like the main ways that you can pay for the bar course, or unless someone else sponsors you. There's not really any shortcuts towards this, so yeah, do your research and make sure that you have enough funds to carry you through the whole year. Now, in terms of where you should think about doing the bar course, think strategically. So if you want to practice in London, it would be advisable to maybe do the bar course in a bar course provider in London. This is because when you're on the bar course, what a lot of people don't realize is that you have to join an Inn of Court. So this is a requirement before you even get accepted into bar school. And there are 4 Inns of Courts: Lincoln's Inn, Middle Temple, Inner Temple, and Gray's Inn. Now, it doesn't really matter which inn you go to, it's more of a personal preference. Some inns are smaller than others, some inns are known to be like a Welsh inn where a lot of students from Cardiff University go, or some inns are really big and they're known for their dinners and their libraries. So do your own research in terms of which one you want to actually go to and join, and whether you think you will have a chance at their scholarships. So initially I chose an inn because I thought it would be easier to get a scholarship there. So obviously use some wisdom, get some knowledge from other people, literally message people on LinkedIn and, well, in a polite way, but message people and talk to people that are in the year above you or so, and ask them for their opinion and advice on which inn to join if you are really concerned about it. But at the end of the day, all of them serve the same function in terms of you have to attend their qualifying sessions. Now, from my year, so this year is like 2024 to 2025, to be called to the bar, you of course have to complete your bar course, and you have to have completed at least 10 qualifying sessions. Now, the breakdown of these 10 qualifying sessions is a bit complex in terms of the areas that you have to go, in terms of what types of qualifying sessions you have to complete. For example, there's interactive qualifying sessions and there's non-interactive qualifying sessions. Qualifying sessions could be a presentation workshop where you prepare and present a 5-minute presentation on anything, or a non-interactive QS would be like a seminar talk or a quality at the bar or something like that. So for my inn, I'm currently at Lincoln's Inn. You had to do at least 2 interactive qualifying sessions and at least 1 qualifying session from each category, and there's about 4 to 5 categories. But as I said, if you do your research, you plan strategically, you look at the requirements, you will be fine. And my tip for you is to plan and book your qualifying sessions all in one go. So that would require you to save a bit of money. Nothing is free at the bar course. I'm telling you that from now so you can prepare yourself. and qualifying sessions are usually 10 to about 20 to 25 pounds. As I mentioned before, if you are a scholar or you've received a scholarship from one of the Inns of Court, your qualifying sessions tend to be discounted or even non-existent. So that's another thing that you should take into consideration. Thinking about where you want to do your bar course, you need to think strategically as well. So as I mentioned before, I graduated from Cardiff University and I could have stayed at Cardiff University for the bar course. It's a great uni, especially for law. However, the distance from Cardiff to London is quite considerable in terms of whenever you need to get to, you need to complete your qualifying sessions. So a lot of classmates and friends that I know have to travel into London just for the day by coach, just to complete a qualifying session and then head back to Cardiff to study or revise. And that's something you do want to take into consideration, especially if you aren't in London. Now, a lot of the Inns of Courts do like circuit training, or they have events for like the Midlands or let's say Southwest, but a lot of these are rare. So you also need to consider the cost of travelling in and out of London sometimes. However, a lot of the times the Inns of Court are not very vocal about this, but they do have residentials where you can earn up to 6 qualifying sessions. These are great because it just takes one weekend, and it will be ideal for students that don't live in London or aren't in a London provider, where you can just rack up your points really easily and you won't have to travel into London as much. Of course, you still have to pay, but that is something you should definitely consider looking into, especially if you are studying outside of London. Studying in London and living in London is very beneficial. I recognise that not a lot of people can do this, but if you are able to and you have the financial means, you have a place to live in, I would really ask you to consider it, because it's a great location. Imagine you can just complete your uni work, you can go to class, and then if you have a qualifying session you can head straight there. It is quite strategic and it is quite beneficial for you to be in London, but it's not the be or end all, because there are loads of online events. You may not get necessarily the same experience, but you will still get it. So it's not something to be too concerned about. You will still have a lovely time studying in the bar. So yeah, just prepare yourself for the workload. I don't think anyone really prepares you for this, and especially if you're coming to City University, the teaching is very, very front loaded. I would say about 50 to 60% of the teaching happened in first term, and you would think coming straight out of undergrad or out of whatever you're coming from, they would ease you in. They eased you in the introduction week, and that was it. And then from there it was just bam 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 bam. Schedule was very, very packed, so that's something else you should consider, especially if you think you're going to do the course full-time and then also work a part-time job. There were times it definitely got rough, and there were times that my friends did not see me. However, what I do need to reiterate to you is that it is very possible to have a work-life balance with the bar course. You just need to be strategic and very disciplined in terms of when you're going to study, when you're going to have your free time, and when you're going to consolidate and review the things that you've learnt. Now, granted, I haven't taken the advice that I've given you very well. I haven't consolidated most, or if not all, of my lessons or the things that I've learnt, and now I will need to do this whilst exam season is happening. If you can see up here, that's literally my exam timetable, and I've colour coordinated everything because it is a lot. Do not take the bar course lightly. Some of us may seem like we're doing really well, and some of us may not seem like we're mentally there, but this is a tough course for anyone, even if you are super smart. And I'm not sure really how you would prepare for the bar course. I think you just have to brace yourself and you just have to take it as it comes, and you will learn how to do that. I think now I know how I can study, how it would take me about one day to complete a classes prep. So don't waste your time. Really plan out your time thoughtfully, but also incorporate rest. One thing I definitely struggled with first term was that I would pack my schedule. I would have the bar course, I had qualifying sessions, then you also needed to get experience, whether that's mooting or debating, whatever it is, many pupilages for those of you that haven't got that, marshalling, whatever. So it is a lot for those of you that are new to the bar. This is another piece of advice, is that if you are able to, try and get the experience that you need before the bar course or during the break. And even then during the break, I wouldn't really advise it because you really do need the break. Like, for example, Christmas just gone, I took the whole 3 weeks to rest. May not have been the best decision in other people's eyes, but I think I really needed that rest to just recuperate myself, and even if I did feel unproductive, to actually just recharge myself and be ready for the term now. As essentially the term that I have now, I have all of my classes on top of all of my exams up there, and there are about 2 exams every single month until May. So that's another thing you need to take into consideration. How does the bar course provider do their exams? Not many people give this advice, so I'm gonna give it to you. Check how, when, XYZ they assess you. So the core modules in terms of civil litigation and criminal litigation, those are handled by the Bar Standards Boards, so BSB, and so whenever they set the dates, that's firm. A lot of universities have the choice on how they assess students on the other modules, so that could be drafting, legal research, advocacy, ethics, and all of that. So make sure you do your research, and especially when you go to open days, ask how they assess the students, and you'll get a feel for which university is better for you. Some universities assess some of their students in first term, so I know that in Cardiff you have the option to sit your criminal litigation or civil litigation earlier in first term, and I know that at University of Law you're able to sit conference earlier in the term, so last term in December. But I would double check because obviously I do not go to any of those universities. What I can say about City University is that first term is mainly teaching, like all teaching, and then you come back for second term in January, and that's when all your exams start. And you don't really get a break from January to May. It's just 2 exams, as I said, every single month, more or less. So think about whether this kind of model works for you. In terms of the university as well and your Inns of Courts, make sure you make use of your extracurricular activities, whether they have mooting clubs, debating clubs, whatever else, innocence projects, vocalize. So vocalize is where you get to debate with people in prison. So that's another thing, and just see which university can offer you more options and quality options that you can do, and see which university would actually help you with your pupillage applications and anything that you need help with or support with, such as your welfare, your well-being, your course, all of that stuff. If you take anything from this video, it's literally to be organized, be ahead, and be disciplined. With those 3, you will be fine. You just need to put the work in and you'll reap what you sow. So that's essentially it. This video is essentially my experience and also how you can choose your bar course and Inns of Court. So I hope this video has been informative. Please let me know what you think of it. If you do have any questions, type it in the box down below. I hope you found this video informative, and I will see you guys in the next one. Bye.